everybody. Happy holidays, and thanks for joining us. I'm John Walters. You know, we're kind of picking up right where we left off. Last year, Indiana State closed out the conference season by beating Bradley in a two-point thriller right here at the Holman Center to win their first conference championship in 21 years. Now the two teams open conference play right back on the same floor. And Coach Bob Sundvold joins me. Coach, two well-coached teams, two teams that really get after it. This is going to be a lot of fun today.
It's going to be a great ball game. You've got the inexperienced yet improving Bradley Braves against the four returning starters for Indiana State that know what it takes to have a championship, especially after last season. Should be a great ball game.
Well, certainly when you talk about the keys for the game, you have to start with Bradley's Jerome Robinson.
Well, Jerome Robinson has developed into one of the best guards in the Valley. He's the leading scorer for the Bradley Braves. He's a leading defender from last year's team. He's taken it on himself to spend his offseason to improve his game. Look at his numbers. He's jumped up his points production. He's jumped up his field goal percentage. He's an outstanding player.
Well, in Indiana State, Coach Royce Waltman depends heavily on his seniors.
Well, Michael Menzer, the captain, he runs this ball club. One of the outstanding point guards in the Valley. Also one of the outstanding guards. He can knock in the big shot like he did against Indiana earlier. And also there's Matt Wren. He gives you the inside-outside combination. A very difficult player for the Valley to defend.
Well, Bradley is relying heavily on freshmen. Philip Gilbert and Marcello Robinson have played well, but today marks their initiation to Missouri Valley Conference play. Starting lineups are coming up next.
Wasabi?
Wasabi.
Yeah, wasabi.
Wasabi.
Wasabi! Wasabi!
Wasabi.
Wasabi!
Wasabi.
Wasabi! 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 Wasabi?
I'm Dr. Norman Gary, and I'm a bee expert. All right, bee.
Dr. Norman Gary will do some pretty outrageous things.
I've been stung probably around 75,000 times.
But would Norm Gary ever get car insurance that didn't come with a State Farm agent?
Car insurance with no State Farm agent? Now that makes me nervous.
For car insurance, be like this State Farm customer.
Enjoy.
And get an agent you can rely on.
Here, have some more.
Plus competitive rates.
If you enjoy Branson's world-class entertainment, then you'll love Branson's world-class resort, Chateau on the Lake. On a majestic mountaintop overlooking Table Rock Lake, you'll find a grand hotel in the European tradition. The service is impeccable. The surroundings elegant. It's pure luxury all the way. It's what you deserve. Come experience Chateau on the Lake, Branson's only world-class resort. Call 1-888-333-LAKE for reservations.
It's not just about saving money. It's about spending time, just dropping by and creating bonds rather than simply buying them. At Edward Jones, it's never just about investing. It's about knowing you and your dreams.
My every hope, my life, my world, it all begins with a dream.
Edward Jones, investing in you and your dreams.
The New York. You go to great effort to keep your body in shape. But where do you go to give your mind a workout? Go to the World Today and get the best of CNN in one power-packed hour. Daily news, money news, an in-depth look at the most important issues today. Watch the World Today and exercise the most important muscle of all, your brain. CNN, you are what you know.
Sportsnet.
The Missouri Valley Conference Game of the Week is brought to you by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. By Budweiser, with the crisp, clean, refreshing taste you'll find in no other beer. By Edward Jones, more than 125 years of experience helping individuals build financial security. And by Pepsi, the joy of cola, the choice of the Missouri Valley Conference. We're at the Holman Center in Bradley and Indiana State. Bradley's dominated the series, but the two teams split 1 year ago. Bradley coach Jim Molinari, in his 10th year, just won his 150th game, a nice milestone for Coach Molinari. And the starting lineups today, Robinson and Robinson join the terrific freshman Gilbert, Ed Cage, and Raby, the big 6'11" senior out of Grand Rapids for the Braves. And for Indiana State, it'll be Block and Menser, a very good backcourt. Howard up front, he has a sprained ankle, but he's ready to go apparently, and he'll join Wren and Conte in the starting lineup. And Royce Waltman, the Missouri Valley Conference Coach of the Year, now in his 4th season at Indiana State, and he's won 60 games already, doing a terrific job in turning this program around. And Bob, it wasn't an easy program to turn around. They hadn't had a winning season in a long time before he got here.
Royce has done an outstanding job. John, we've got two great coaches. They both have a little bit of contrasting styles in the way they play, but I'll guarantee you both know the value of the possession of the basketball, and you're going to see some great fundamental basketball today. Indiana State does some outstanding things on offense. Bradley, with Jim Molinari at the helm, have long been a great defensive team.
Indiana State controls the tip, and we're underway. Glad you could join us this afternoon. Conference opener for both teams, and so much rides on these conference games, you don't want to get off to a bad start. Wren on a drive, banks it in.
That's one of the things we'll need to watch all day, is that how many times can Wren put the ball on the floor and penetrate?
This is Marcello Robinson, terrific freshman, over to another freshman, Gilbert. He's pushed on the baseline by another freshman, and that's Marcus Howard of Indiana State. You see Wren kind of favoring that left shin. Now, we talked to the trainer, and he's having a little problem with that shin. We'll tell you about it in a moment. Here's his drive a moment ago.
Wren has a great ability to take a bigger man and take him out on the floor and put it on the floor and dribble drive.
Talked to the trainer at the shoot-around this morning. Matt Wren has a stress fracture in that left shin that's been bothering him, keeping him out of practice. Cage on a jump shot, knocks it down. And we're tied at 2.
You know, in talking to both coaches, John, both of them have a real fear of defending the dribble and keeping the ball in front of them on defense. So we may find two teams that want to put it on the floor on offense.
Conte on a jumper over Raby. And the rebound to Jerome Robinson. You'll enjoy watching him this afternoon. A terrific athlete, Jerome Robinson. Cage knocked down the jumper a moment ago. Two freshmen in that starting lineup for Bradley. This is one of them. Gilbert swings it out to the other one, Marcello Robinson. Now Jerome Robinson on a jumper for 3. And ran the rebound. Good outlet to Menzer. Official timeout. Wren is hurting.
He got an injured player.
Yeah. So they're going to give him a break, and that's a real blow for Indiana State if Matt Wren's not going to be able to play significant minutes, because he's the most important player on the floor for the Sycamores.
Well, he's a guy that gives so many mismatch and matchup problems for the other team.
Conte on a drive, and Raby the rebound. This is Jerome Robinson with it for Bradley. Good help defense. Over on the baseline, Cage fires and hits. Second jump shot to go for Eddie Cage, and it's a 4-2 Bradley lead.
You know, Cage's best play is a jump shot on the baseline, also up at the high post area, and he's knocked in 2 shots.
And now the ball knocked loose and out of bounds. Looks like Indiana State will keep it. Bradley an early 4-2 lead. You're not going to see Bradley stray too much from man-to-man defense.
Now both of these teams are going to be almost all man-to-man.
Help on the perimeter, though. Block, knocks down the jumper. It's a 2-pointer for Keelan Block, and it's tied at 4. Block stepped up his game. We talked about Robinson and how much he stepped up. Block's done the same thing. And this is Robinson missing. Block the rebound.
One of the interesting matchups we talked about is Robinson guarding Keelan Block, and Block is guarding Jerome Robinson. So that's something that we can watch and see how it develops.
I'd like to welcome you on Fox Sports Midwest that just watched St. Louis University knocked off Southwest Missouri State 80-70. Glad you could join us for this one. We think we're going to have a very good basketball game between Indiana State and Bradley. Foul on the perimeter, and it's a blocking foul. Jabril Conte picks up an illegal screen, and he'll turn the ball over to Bradley.
You know, as a coach and a player, you want to see early in the game how referees are going to make that call. Both of these teams use screens on the ball. They use a lot of screening. Ron Burkholz has made a big call now, and that's going to set the tone for a lot of the way these teams can play.
If you are joining us late, Matt Wren of Indiana State, the terrific senior, injured his leg. He's going to check back into the ball game now, though, so apparently he's okay. Raby down low. Jump shot over Avery. Wouldn't fall. Block another rebound, and here comes Indiana State. Down low, it's Terrence Avery on a hook shot. And Cage goes up high to get the rebound. How many transition baskets would these teams like to get, Bob? Are they more half-court oriented?
Both of these teams are half-court oriented. They're going to push the ball, but they're going to be very judicious in how they handle it and how they get shots. The best thing they do is defensively, both teams are going to run back and really make it hard for you to get a transition bucket.
There's Matt Wren checking back into the ball game. If you join us late, he has a minor stress fracture in his left shin that has caused some problems, forced him to miss some practice time. Might have re-injured it early in this one, but now he's back in there and block another defensive rebound. And that is a good example of what you were just talking about, as Bradley did a nice job getting back. Wren, pump fake, gets his man in the air, tries to drive baseline and draws the contact.
You know, again, Wren with the ball fake, putting it on the floor. He got around his man. There's the pump fake. And now he's making the dribble drive. He knows the guy's off balance. He can get to the free throw line or at least get him in foul trouble.
Bang knees again. So Wren not altering his style of play. Now he shoots a three and misses. And you see the freshman, Philip Gilbert, go up high to get it. Gilbert has really burst onto the scene for this Bradley team. There's a illegal screen called on Bradley. It's going to go on Raby.
Well, those are the calls you want to see when you're on defense. That's going to help that defensive player chasing Jerome Robinson. Here's Keelan Block getting banged into by Raby. That is a moving screen, and now it's going to give the defensive player a little better chance of staying with that hot shooter.
Tied at 4 in the early going. Keelan Block on a drive all the way to the hoop, and the rebound to Raby. Quick outlet. Marcello Robinson had it knocked away, but got it back. He took a shot to the mouth. Welcome to the Missouri Valley Conference. Now, we talked a little bit about that off camera, Bob, but this is going to be a real awakening for these freshmen for Bradley. Get a lot of minutes.
It's so hard. You're in December. You've played 8 ball games, and now you've got to have your league intensity right before Christmas, right before break. Yeah, it's going to be different for these freshmen.
Robinson on a kick out. Robinson for 3. Marcello Robinson hits the 3 off the feed from Jerome Robinson.
Big basket, and again, it was created by Jerome Robinson off the penetration. He drew Marcello's man, kicked it, got the open look.
And it's a 7-4 lead right now for Bradley. Avery, a good offensive player in the post, kicks it out to Wren. He'll put it on the floor and fire. Banked too hard, and the rebound, Jerome Robinson. Robinson fires a 3 and hits. Back-to-back 3-pointers for Bradley, and the Braves lead at 10-4. Menser on a drive, had it slapped away. Up a lit though, they got another opportunity and missed. Now a foul on the rebound. Avery missed the shot.
That's a tough call.
Now that foul is on Eddie Cage, I believe, his second. But Bradley leads it right now in the early going. We've got a timeout.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Introducing a shockingly refreshing new lemon lime. Sierra Mist.
The
Lexus December to Remember sales event is going on now through January 2nd. Whether you buy or lease, you'll find values you never dreamed possible. So this year, make sure you get the gift you really want. Hurry in to your Chicago area Lexus dealer today.
Sunday Night Fights on Fox Sports Net. Witness boxing fury from a ringside seat. Sunday Night Fights on Fox Sports Net.
They've played just over 5 minutes. Bradley leads it over Indiana State 10-4. Get your tickets now for the 2001 State Farm Missouri Valley Conference Men's Basketball Tournament, March 2nd through 5th. 2 games Friday, 4 games Saturday, semi-Sunday, finals Monday at the Savvis Center in St. Louis. Don't miss a minute of the 2001 State Farm Missouri Valley Conference Men's Tournament, March 2nd through 5th. It is Arch Madness.
You know, John, right before the break, Eddie Cage picking up his second foul is really going to put Bradley in a little bit of a problem. They've got a depth problem inside anyway, and Cage has had a great 5 minutes here.
So he is going to stay on the floor with those 2 fouls and try to play cautiously. Block, shoots it over Raby and hits. Tough shot by Keelan Block, his second field goal.
Well, you know, Block takes it right to Cage. There's a little mismatch there, and I'm sure they're going to try to get Cage in a little bit of a foul predicament.
Bradley has hit 4 of 8 from the floor. Indiana State 3 of 9. Raby trying to establish post position against Jabril Conte down there. A real battle. Now Jerome Robinson on the handoff. And fouled on the way in was Gillingham. James Gillingham, another freshman for Bradley, drew the foul. Michael Menzer gets his first foul. Boy, remember what Menzer did to the Indiana University. Remember that?
Just an outstanding ball game. Last 5 seconds, he makes 2 threes and wins the ball game. What a storybook.
Second year in a row that Indiana State defeated Indiana. This time it happened here in Terre Haute. There's a knockaway and a steal by the freshman, Berry. Here he comes the other way. Good defensive work. Now Matt Berry has it back. Goes to the baseline. And draws a foul. So Matt Berry making an impact in his first minute on the floor.
Well, Bradley is substituted. They brought in Gillingham and Corbett. They're setting down their two freshmen, Marcella Robinson and Gilbert. Now another freshman, Faulkner, comes in to replace Eddie Cage.
Jim Molinari will give Cage a rest here. He's got those 2 fouls. Menzer for 3. Knocked down on the shot. He'll shoot 3 free throws. And Gillingham, the freshman, making the error there.
You know, Gillingham gets caught up on the screens. 2 really good screens. He fights through it, and then the momentum carries him into the shooter, and that's tough. Again, though, you've got freshmen on the floor. They're going to learn, find out what it takes to be successful in the Valley, and you got a senior Menzer who knows how to get a call or get a foul just like that.
Exactly what I was thinking. Menzer's not going to back away from that contact or fade away. He sees the guy coming. He's going to draw the contact. And he hits the free throw. Well, these 2 teams both are pretty darn good at the free throw line. Indiana State 73%, Bradley 77%. The Missouri Valley Conference as a whole, a great free throw shooting league this year. SMS right up towards the top of the country in that category.
You know, John, when you're a player like Menzer and you've been around a long time, you know there's a lot of ways to get points. You're not afraid to maybe take that hit on that 3, but it gets you to the free throw line, and when you're shooting 75% like he does, it's a good play.
Well, Larry Ashley, who's been used sparingly by Royce Waldman, number 20, checks into the game for Indiana State. And the Sycamores, after the 3 free throws by Menzer, climb back within 1. Cage will replace Raby, who gets his first rest. Raby, the only guy to start all 8 games for Bradley, as Jim Molinari has really fiddled with his lineup and tried to find the right mix.
Well, you know, they're thin at Bradley inside. They've got Michael Stewart, who had come to school, and he's been sitting out. And they've got Reggie Hall now sitting out. Both inside players that they were counting on at the start of the season.
Long jumper Robinson for 3. He was knocked to the floor, no call. Cage the rebound, and he's fouled. Robinson goes over to plead his case with Ron Burkholz, saying, hey, what about what just happened at the other end?
Well, you're going to see this again, and you know, when you get to be a senior, you try to figure out every way you can. Robinson with the shot. Cage goes after the ball like a man and goes after it with 2 hands, and he gets the rebound and he gets fouled.
These 2 fouls are starting to add up for both clubs. Cage to the free throw line, and the crowd didn't like the fact that Jim Molinari requested a meeting with Ron Berkowitz.
Well, they're giving Cage 2 shots on that foul, and
he missed the first. Royce Waltman says he was not in the act of shooting. Well, we're going to take a break. 13-14 to go in the first half. Bradley clinging to a 1-point lead over Indiana State.
Great coaches. Great players. Great finishes.
3 seconds, 2 seconds. No, Indiana State is the champion for the first time in 21 years.
94 years strong. The Missouri Valley Conference.
The Missouri Valley Conference is extremely proud of our partnership with the Bob Costas Cancer Center at Cardinal Glennon Hospital in St. Louis. The Costas Center provides the children of Mid-America diagnosed with cancer and other blood disorders a combination of state-of-the-art technology, a child-friendly environment, and a compassionate, highly trained staff. The Bob Costas Cancer Center at Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital. For kids, for now, forever.
Bradley a 1-point lead. Bob, let's try to figure out what happened here.
Well, we had a 3 by Jerome Robinson, and Eddie Cage makes a great 2-handed rebound. You're going to see him come into the picture from our right here. He's going after the ball. He's going to grab it. As he's going down, 11 slaps at his arm, and the referees have given that a 2-shot foul. And that's what I think's got the Sycamore fans and Royce Waltman a little up in arms.
And on cue, they return to the chorus of boos. But Cage missed both free throws anyway, and Menser got the rebound. Indiana State a chance to take the lead on this possession. Matt Wren, great complete basketball player for this Indiana State team. Wren can really do it all. Menser over to Wren. He'll fire the jumper and hit it. That was a 3-pointer for Matt Wren. And now Indiana State leads it by 2. Robinson on a spin. Gillingham on a drive. Denied by Wren. Saved, but controlled by Ashley. Here comes Berry on the feed. Knocked away by Faulkner. It'll belong to Indiana State.
Well, you're seeing 2 things here. You're seeing Indiana State on their defensive end really picking up the pressure. Matt Wren doing a great job of helping and blocking the shot there. And then you just see Bradley doing a great job of running back on defense. Faulkner, even though he's a freshman, he ran back hard, got in the way, and prevented an easy layup for Indiana State.
Now we were just talking a moment ago. Wren is hurt. Matt Wren is hurt. And again, it appears to be that leg, and I think he just came down wrong on it and kind of twisted it underneath him. But he is having all kinds of problems physically this afternoon, and Royce Waltman says it all with that look.
Well, it's really tough. You know how tough this guy is and a competitor, and he's going to want to stay on the court.
Watch his knee kind of buckle. Right there, he landed on the right knee, and the left kind of twisted. Throwing the shin splint problems that he's been having, and just physically, he's a mess right now. Well, they get a 3 off from the side, and Berry connects, the freshman. Matt Berry out of Tulsa. Indiana State on a bit of a run right now, leads at 15-10. Faulkner on a drive against Avery. Tough shot. Rebound controlled by Jabril Conte. Indiana State on an 11-0 run and trying to add to it. Conte on a jump shot from 18. And the rebound to the freshman Faulkner. Freshman all over the place.
Well, it's interesting because Bradley's going to go through some growing pains. And Indiana State's freshmen have that luxury of having those seniors out there that know what it takes.
Long jumper, Robinson for three, missing. And up high is Berry. He's looked good in the early going. It's an 11-0 run for Indiana State over the last 3:30. Berry on a drive. And they tried to force it down low to Avery. Maybe not the best idea, but Faulkner bailed him out with a foul.
You know, the thing you're talking about, Matt Berry, what the Indiana State coaches like about the way he plays, he's got the athletic body, he can slash, and now he's knocked in a three, so he's really adding to this ball club.
Sycamores by 5 early on.
You want to win $25,000? Skip the pin, sign, and win. What? Okay, here. Got one of these? A Commerce Bank Visa check card. Use this instead of cash, instead of a check. And if there's a keypad, don't enter your PIN number. Use it like a credit card. Sign the receipt. You could win $1,000 to be given away each day and a $25,000 grand prize. Open a checking account at Commerce today and get one. Skip the PIN, sign, and win.
Where can you find a soybean that yields up to 3.5 bushels better in reduced tillage? Introducing residue-proven varieties from Asgrow. Soybeans bred specifically for fast emergence, strong disease resistance, and yields up to 3.5 bushels higher in reduced tillage systems. Look for the new residue-proven Arrow at your Asgrow dealer. It's your sign of a more profitable soybean.
There's a moment in every race.
In every game.
In every 60 minutes. When you can either quit, fold,
or say to yourself,
I can do this.
Bradley led at 10-4 early, but now Indiana State is on an 11-0 run. Well, today's Prairie Farms Missouri Valley Conference Scholar Athlete of the game is Indiana State's Michael Menzer, a senior from Batesville, Indiana. Menzer is the Sycamores' all-time three-point field goal leader with 219 career trays. Menzer also has a 3.96 cumulative grade point average in finance and is a two-time Missouri Valley Conference first-team Scholar Athlete. Academics are important to the Missouri Valley Conference. Let's salute Indiana State's Michael Menzer, today's Prairie Farms Missouri Valley Conference Scholar Athlete. All right, the Sycamores trying to add to that 11-0 run right now. Conte on a bounce pass down low and a pushing foul called, and if it's Cage, it's his third. We'll see.
You know, we watched this morning when Indiana State works on their inbounds play. They work on trying to score, and they go right into their offense.
3 personal fouls on Eddie Cage. Big decision time here for Jim Molinari. 11 minutes to go in the first half, and one of his 2 post players that he has available basically has 3 fouls. Free throw missed by Avery.
Well, it's really tough, and I know he wants him subbed out, and now you got to hope he doesn't get his 4th foul on something foolish because we've got his substitute sitting right in front of us.
This is Raby out high with it, and he threw it away. Conte on the interception. Menzer on the run, pushes it up to Ashley. Tough shot, and a foul on the rebound on Ashley. And now they will get Cage out of there. And Matt Wren returns for Indiana State, so his ailments are not going to keep him off the floor. You mentioned he's a tough kid.
You know, I think the stress fracture thing is one of those maybe deals that just sting him for a little while, and he's going to go over, put a little ice on it or regroup it, and then get back out, because I know we're going to see him all year. He's going to play this senior season, and he's going to give it everything he has.
Bradley trying to get a hoop here. They haven't scored since the 14:55 mark. They've gone over 4 minutes without a basket. Offensive foul on the freshman, Gilbert. Philip Gilbert gets the offensive foul.
And who's taking the charge? Matt Wren. We're going to see here great help defense. You get Gilbert playing a little faster than he wants to play. Here's Wren coming across and just doing a great job of holding his position and taking the charge.
That's something Royce Waltman was really working on in practice today. Help defense. And Matt Wren, one of the terrific defenders in the league, and just a terrific all-around player, really. Glock lost control. Bradley on a run out. Here comes Gilbert.
Well, that's one of the rare easy baskets we're going to see today. But again, it was started by the defense. Outstanding job by Jerome Robinson of kicking that loose.
Bob, you know what I liked about Gilbert there? He's a freshman, but he was mature enough not to rise up and try to do some fancy dunk. He just laid it in. Make sure to get the 2 points when you're in a drought like that.
He's still in the survivor stage. He's just trying to get through it and survive.
Gilbert's going to be a very nice player for Bradley. Block on a kick out. This is Barry on a free throw line jumper, and he knocks it down. He's looked really sharp. Matt Barry, the freshman out of Tulsa, in his second hoop. Bradley trying to set screens, but again, Wren comes out to help. Quick entry pass, down low to Raby. Faulkner on a drive, tough shot, missed it, and knocked out of bounds. It belonged to Indiana State. And Jerome Robinson back in there. Jim Molinari cannot wait too long without Robinson on the floor.
Well, Bradley needs to have the shooting and the firepower out there. Right now, what they're doing is winding their offense inside the paint using the dribble drive. They need somebody to kick it out to make that outside jump shot and kind of spread Indiana State's defense.
Into the game, Marcus Howard, the freshman from Elgin, Illinois, checks in for Indiana State. The Sycamore's bench has provided 5 points. Bradley's bench is yet to score. This is Barry Welsh into the lineup for the first time for Indiana State also, another freshman. He wears number 24. Good entry pass, Conte, turnaround over Raby, and he knocked it down. Tough shot by Jabril Conte.
Great shot, and you know, Raby did a nice job of defending at the end. Where he got beat was when Conte pushed him into the lane with his seal, and that allowed Conte to have a good angle and an easier shot.
Knocked away by Wren. Matt Wren on the run, all the way to the hoop. He laid it in, drew the foul. He'll go for a three-point play. Gutsy effort today by Matt Wren.
Well, this is what Royce Waltman knows he gets out of Wren and Menzer every day, every night, every day in practice, whether it's a game or practice. These guys come to play and lead this ball club.
And Jim Molinari calls the 30-second timeout. His team has dug a hole. They led it 10-4 at one point, but now it's a 17-2 run for Indiana State. Well, coming up next week, on Saturday, 2 o'clock Central Time, you can see Evansville and Creighton, two teams that were picked to finish right at the top of the Missouri Valley Conference race. That'll be a good one.
Be an outstanding game. Creighton has had some big wins. They lead the Valley in the RPI rankings right now in the top 10. Had a great road win last week against Tulsa. And then, of course, we saw Evansville a couple weeks ago, John, and they've got those seniors, and they're certainly capable of putting some good things together in this Valley race.
So an important conference game early on.
Well, they're all important.
Yeah, that's right. They are.
Just ask those two coaches right there that are talking amongst themselves.
Well, right now, Jim Molinari is just looking for answers. His team has had just one field goal. That was that layup by Gilbert over the last 7 minutes.
Well, it's a hard thing. You go on the road. That's the one thing you can't have, negative runs. And he's in the middle of a big one right now, 17-2 or whatever it is. Everything's going Indiana State's way. All Coach Mo wants is let's figure a way to get a basket and try to stem this tide.
And after that free throw by Wren, it's now an 18-2 run for the Sycamores. This is where you look. Well, there's an interception. Block came up with it. Here comes Welsh on a drive. And a foul on the rebound on Keelan Block. That'll send Gilbert down to the other end to shoot free throws, I believe. No, because it's just the 16th foul on.
You know, one of the tough things as a coach, you take your timeout, you want 30 seconds, let's regroup, let's call a play, and let's get a shot for Jerome Robinson or whoever it is we're going to get it for. And you got a freshman point guard. He gets rattled, he gets shook, we have a turnover. I mean, that's just a tough thing. And Bradley certainly came back on defense and helped prevent something bad from happening.
Well, we showed you the graphic there on turnovers, 6 already for Bradley, and they average 17 a game. It's been a real problem for the Braves. You expect that with young guards. This is Corbett traveling with it. There's the 7th turnover for Bradley. And good defensive work by Welsh.
Well, these freshmen for Bradley are going to find out right now how you really got to cinch in, get focused, concentrate, and get that thing done on offense that you need, whether it's a jump shot or a layup inside.
Down low, Wren. Backs out. There was nothing there. Intelligent play. Howard back down low to Conte. Jabril Conte in on Raby. Denied by Raby. Jump ball the call. And alternate possession belongs to Bradley. Raby, the Missouri Valley Conference leader in block shots. Got one right there. Time out on the floor. 7:39 to go first half. It's Indiana State by 10.
Come on, Joey. Let's have some of Grandma's old recipe ice cream.
Wow, it sure looks good.
It is, Joey. There's a whole world of wonderful flavors in her old recipe ice cream. It starts with fresh cream and cane sugar, then in go all kinds of other great tasting treats.
Gosh, did Grandma make it herself?
Of course not, Joey. She goes to the store and buys it like everybody else.
Taste the premium quality of old recipe ice cream from Prairie Farms.
There are things that make you feel alive. And then there are things that make you feel reborn. Explore St. Louis. There's more than meets the arch. Call 1-800-888-FUN1.
The search for the future is not difficult. It's right at hand, if you know where to look. At Phillips Petroleum Company, we see the promise of tomorrow. That's why we are so committed to producing better products that give us cleaner air and a cleaner earth. It's just good business. Something to think about the next time you need fuel.
Proof again that Phillips 66 is the performance company.
Indiana State on an 18-2 run to lead it right now by 10. Let's take a look at the Missouri Valley Conference standings, brought to you by Edward Jones. More than 125 years of experience helping individuals build financial security. Edward Jones. We mentioned Creighton and Evansville getting together next week. Top two teams right now in terms of conference wins.
Well, it should be fun. Two ball clubs that can really shoot the basketball, and so it should be fun to see.
And we see Indiana State and Bradley opening conference play today. Block overplaying, looking for the steal. Now it's Gilbert with it. Philip Gilbert. He's got a real history here in Terre Haute. His uncle was Alex Gilbert, who played on that Indiana State team that played for the NCAA championship against Michigan State. And there's Gilbert hitting the three.
A big shot, again, created by penetration. Gilbert's man had to help on the dribble drive, and that opened up the open shot.
Conte on a jump shot from 17. Jabril Conte showing some range. So Indiana State has the answer. Raby on a good bounce pass to Robinson. Missed the layup. Avery the rebound. Battle for the loose ball. Finally a foul called, and bodies flying everywhere. That's what conference play is going to be like. But Robinson missed a real gimme there.
Well, that's tough, too, because you're trying so hard to get a basket, and he's got a wide-open layup. Set up, he made a great cut off of a screen. Had good position, he just couldn't finish the shot.
Down at the other end of free throws from Marcus Howard. Howard had his first start in the last game and played pretty well. But he sprained his ankle late in the game, and they weren't sure if he could play today, but he's been in there for a few minutes anyway.
One more now, one more.
Indiana State now 5 of 5 from the free throw line. And the Sycamores have opened it up. An 11-point lead right now. See the pressure every time they pick up that dribble, coach. Swing it around. Gilbert, or rather Faulkner on a tough shot. Corbett rather, and they get the rebound. Indiana State again. get my facts straight here. It was Andre Corbett on the miss. There's Conte again. Hit one out there a moment ago. Couldn't get that one to go, and Corbett the rebound. You can hear Jim Molinari yelling out motion. He wants to get some movement in this offense.
Indiana State's doing a great job of keeping that ball outside, keeping it in front of you.
Long jumper by Gilbert. Good again. He hit another three.
Big shot. Now you're going to see, we're seeing where Bradley is expecting the shots to come from. Outside that arc, on the perimeter after a dribble, drive, and penetration. They're not getting anything inside the Indiana State defense.
Howard tries to answer and misses. Rebound to Faulkner. Now Bradley trying to piece together a run. And Philip Gilbert's got a couple of threes already in this one. Good-looking freshman he is. Robinson trying to create. Now Faulkner will fire from 17 and hit. Jason Faulkner. First bench points for Bradley. And it's a 6-point game. And Menser separated with a behind-the-back dribble, but couldn't get the shot to fall. And Raby, a great rebound for Bradley. You got to like the way the Braves have answered the bell here.
Well, you know, Coach Molinari loves these freshmen. He said they're just too young right now, but they've proven they can do some great things. Faulkner stepped up, made some shots. Gilbert's knocked in a couple threes. Marcello Robinson on the floor for him as a point guard. They're getting some very good things out of the freshman class.
The Molinari's team trailed it by 11 a moment ago, and now it's down to 6. Keelan Block has it. Drives into the paint. Had it knocked away by Robinson. And now here comes Jerome Robinson. Gillingham surveys things. Menser out there defensively. Shot clock at 17 as Gillingham goes to work. And knocked away again by Berry. Impressed with Matt Berry. He's played well.
You know, one of the things we're seeing here are young guards, freshmen. They're getting pinned on the sideline. They take away any angle they have of making good entry pass to the wing. Indiana State's done a nice job of keeping the ball on the sideline, not letting it come to the middle where a guard can make an entry pass to either side. We'll have to watch and see if these guards can figure out a way to get in the middle of the floor and run their offense.
You saw the help defense again by Wren. Now losing control of it was Corbett, but over to bail him out was Jerome Robinson. He has to shoot. The shot clock running out. He missed it. Berry the rebound. Menser looking to push it up the floor. This is Keelan Block. Good unselfish pass over to Wren. And he's fouled. Thought Block might go up and shoot that jumper, but saw Matt Wren open on the wing.
Again, here's Wren, a power forward type or a four-man who uses the dribble and penetration so well to put pressure on the defense. He again uses a ball fake. He's fundamentally sound, puts it on the floor. He gets the Bradley team to foul him.
Wren to the free throw line where Indiana State has yet to miss. They've now hit 7 of 7. That foul, by the way, on Andre Corbett, his third.
And Wren is a 76% shooter, so these are great points for him as well.
Wren missed the second.
Jinxed him.
Raby the rebound. 9 early points, though, for Matt Wren to lead all scorers. Marcello Robinson, the freshman point guard. Raby on a long jump shot. Not sure that's what Jim Molinari was looking for. Let me double team Wren out high, and Robinson fouled him. Boy, foul's really starting to add up for Bradley. There you see the team fouls, 12 of them already for Bradley.
Well, you've got a good team here on the line. Double bonus shots now for the last 3 minutes of the half, and you're going to see some smart play by Indiana State. I would see a little patience on offense. They're probably going to keep trying to attack, keep Bradley on their heels, and try to get to that free throw line and build that lead before we go to halftime.
Matt Wren now into double figures with 10 points.
Bradley substitution, number 22.
Philip Gilbert returns for Bradley. Places another freshman, Gillingham. And Jim Molinari does not have a deep bench. He only has really 8 scholarship players here, 1 walk-on. So difficult for his team to get in any kind of foul trouble. Robinson on a fadeaway on the baseline. That wouldn't fall. He's able to track down the rebound, though, and call a timeout. Alert play by the freshman, Marcello Robinson. He gets the timeout. It's been a teaching experience this year, hasn't it, for the coach?
Well, he's going to have to. You know, you look at their classes. They've got 3 seniors in Cage and Raby and Robinson, but yet they all aren't real experienced. They didn't play a lot last year. Bradley had some key losses from the last year's teams, and then he's got these 4 freshmen. So he's got 3 seniors, a sophomore, and 4 freshmen. That's his 8.
Let's take a look at one of those freshmen. Robinson making an alert play here by getting this timeout.
Well, he made a heads-up play. First off, makes a real hustle play to get that rebound on his missed shot, and then makes a heads-up play to call a timeout and save the possession.
They talk about the key losses. This is a Bradley team that had an all-conference player in Rob Dye. Eric Roberson was a terrific defender and a pretty good scorer, too. Clancy, Selby, Colita, I mean, they lost some very good players on Bradley. And then, as you mentioned earlier, Coach, they came into this season expecting some other guys to be on this year's team that aren't here now. So it's a depleted roster. Robinson triggers to Raby. Jeffrey Raby on a turnaround. And he drew a foul on contact. Jabril Conte gets his second foul. And we'll see Avery check in for him.
2 shots.
Raby to the free throw line for Bradley. Conference leader in block shots. And Bradley's struggling at the line, 0 of 3 as a team. Good look at Jeffrey Raby.
You know, when you have a depleted depth, maybe inside like Bradley does, you're forcing a player like Raby to play a few more minutes each half. Big body like his, it wears down. That's where you have some interesting circumstances at the end of ball games, end of half.
7-point lead for the Sycamores.
9.
In 1939, RCA introduced television to the public at the World's Fair. Color came to television in 1954 with RCA's form. Digital satellite TV became a myth. The future of television is high definition, 6 times sharper.
The people who brought you the television now bring you the next generation, making television as exciting as it was the very first time. RCA.
Time isn't always on your side, so you've got to make every moment count. But there's still time to make your money count on the 2001 Chevy Silverado half-ton extended cab with as low as 1.9% APR. That's as low as 1.9% APR. Hurry, make your money count at your local Chevy dealer before January 2nd.
Are you tired of that fat stomach? Hi, I'm Jenny Lee, and I've discovered the fastest, easiest way to have the flat, sexy abs you've always wanted. It's the Ab Slide, and it gives you a better workout than any other product on the market, and in just 3 minutes a day.
Look, ordinary crunches only work your lower abs on the way up, not on the way down. But the Ab Slide's amazing power-assisted spring provides constant resistance as you slide back and forth, targeting and toning your upper, middle, and lower abs in just 3 minutes a day for the flattest abs ever. And unlike the Torso Track, the Ab Slide lets you go side to side to get rid of love handles faster than ever before. In fact, it's 400% more effective than the Ab Rocker. Don't spend $250 on bulky machines. Now on this exclusive TV offer, you can get the Ab Slide complete with exercise guide for not $250, not $150, but only $39.95. But wait, call now and get the Herbal Energizer to help jumpstart your results. A 10-day supply free. Order Ab Slide today.
Fox Sports Net.
Next 20 minutes is going to be tough.
We're done. Thanks. Okay. I got it. Okay. All right, sounds good. Score first, then that, or just... Okay. .256 to go in the first half, and Indiana State, after leading by as many as 11, now leads it by 7 over Bradley. Time now for the great equalizer, brought to you by Equal Sweetener. Three-point shooting for both teams looks like this. Bradley at 50% and Indiana State at 40%, and that really could be the equalizer in this game if Bradley can get real hot from downtown.
It's going to have to be, John, because they don't have the inside strength to score with Indiana State there, so they're going to have to make up for it outside that free line.
Now, if you join us late, Eddie Cage, starting power forward for Bradley, had 3 early fouls. Wren stepped out of bounds trying to drive the baseline, and that'll turn it over to Bradley. But Cage only got in 9 minutes before he got those 3 fouls, and that was a real blow for Bradley.
Well, it's real tough. When you've got three legitimate inside players, you've got to have them on the floor when you need them. And Cage will rest this half and come back and hopefully stay in there for the second half.
And that turnover just the 4th in the first half for Indiana State. Bradley's turned it over 7 times. This is Robinson off a screen. Reverses it back. Corbett, tough shot. Banked too hard. And the rebound controlled by Indiana State. Bradley not getting real good looks right now, Coach.
No, you can't drive it into your defender and then take the jump shot. That's not the one the coach wants to have thrown up there.
Matt Berry. Guarded by Gilbert. Those are 2 of the real good freshmen in the Missouri Valley Conference. Wren on a fadeaway jumper in the lane, and Ravy the rebound. Under 2 minutes to play now in the first half, and Bradley, if they can knock down a 3, they can chip away at this thing, get right back in it. This is Gilbert on a kick out. Down low, Ravy, double teamed to Corbett. Had trouble catching, but got the shot to fall. Will it count? I think it will. Count the basket for Andre Corbett. And he was fouled.
You know, post players don't realize they should realize they don't have to score. All they can do, if they can move the ball for an offense, you see Raby on a double team. He finds the open man in Corbett, makes a play for somebody else.
Menser gets his second foul, and Corbett adds the free throw, and don't look now, but Bradley's right back in this thing, trailing it by just 4. Well, you don't expect in conference play that it's going to be any other way.
No, and Bradley's just trying to hold the ship together, get to the second half, do some good things here at the end, and try to hang in there.
Ravy tried for the block, got the foul instead, as Wren tried to take it to the basket.
You know, he is so effective, and I'm watching him. This is fun because he's so effective as a player because of his size. That puts a 4-man on him, and then he is so good at moving and using screens. And then watch him. He's going to catch the ball, square up. He's bringing it in. He knows how to collect that foul. He initiated that contact. He got to the free throw line.
Wren has been at the line. He's hit 3 of 5. 11 points now for Matt Wren to lead all scorers. And Indiana State leads it by 5. Welsh will give Menser a rest as Royce Maltman tries to avoid Menser picking up his 3rd foul before the half.
Well, that's a great move because he knows he's going to need Menser in that second half, and you don't want him to get a silly foul here with a minute to go.
Wren hit 1 of 2. 5-point Indiana State lead. Bradley's offense starting to get it together a little bit here, though, in the last couple minutes. Marcello Robinson, freshman. This is Jerome Robinson, the senior. Jumper by Gilbert for 3. Long rebound, block kept it alive. And now it's controlled by Welsh. Welsh will take it all the way in. And he drew a foul on Marcello Robinson. Back to the free throw line goes Indiana State.
Well, you see a real struggle for the ball. Robinson has it. Welsh takes it away. Makes a good aggressive move to get the foul.
Free throw rims in for Barry Welsh. Another freshman. Bob Gibbons, a recruiting coordinator, or analyst, I should say, out of North Carolina, said he's the best pure point guard in Illinois a year ago. Liked him a lot. Welsh should want to hit them both, and the lead up to 7. Right now, an 11-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock, and a foul away from the ball. It's going to go on Indiana State, and Raby was hit hard. Avery gets the call. And Raby will shoot free throws for the Braves. Raby at 68% on the year. This will be a 1-and-1. He has 8 rebounds so far in this game.
Well, he's had to be big, and he's had to play big because of Cage being on the bench.
And you mentioned he's probably going to have to play more minutes than Jim Molinari would like. Probably going to have to go about 30 minutes in this game if he could stay out of foul trouble.
Well, and you know, you look around the league, there's other teams that have a guy like him. He's got to be able to defend that post position, move the ball in their offense, and if he can do it, it's certainly going to help Bradley.
A little pressure here from Bradley. And there's a 1-second difference now between the shot clock and game clock, so Indiana State basically can hold it for 1, and Royce Waltman wants to call a play. His team leads it by 5 with 32 seconds to go in the half.
Well, John, with just 1 second difference, I think Indiana State would run it down and try to get almost the last shot. I mean, play it within the last 5 seconds of your shot clock so you have a tip opportunity. But really, don't give Bradley a chance to come back and run an offensive play or run something to get a good jump shot. So we'll see what they do out of this break.
That was interesting talking to Royce Waltman today. Really enjoy visiting with him. And he says, you know what's funny is you coach all these different offensive sets, and then when it comes down to it, you just give it to your best player, clear it out. And he goes, why don't we do that all the time?
Yeah, he said it comes down to the end of the year, and what do? You clear it out and give it to your best player and let him make a play.
Said, why are we just wasting all this time learning all these sets when...
Yeah, we spend all year dreaming and scheming up all plays and diagrams, and really it gets down to Indiana State's going to let Menzer or Wren make a play or maybe block.
All right, so we'll see what happens here. Indiana State spreads the floor.
See, I'll watch. They'll probably spread it out and let Keelan Block take it. And Marcus Howard has it in his hands. Look, he's got the mismatch. He's got the big player on him.
Raby, yeah. 12 seconds to go.
They flatten it out.
Now they're going to switch. Bradley switches at the last minute. Howard drives, shoots the jumper, misses badly. Raby the rebound, 1 second to go. He hoists it up there, and it won't go. But a good defensive switch by Bradley right before the half.
That was great recognition by the Bradley bench and also the Bradley players to get that thing turned around.
And we're at halftime. Indiana State went on a big 18-2 run midway through the half, and the Sycamores lead it by 5 at the break.
Konnichiwa!
Konnichiwa!
Who's a biggie? Who's about ya?
Now you can learn how to say what's up in 36 different languages. Just visit Budweiser.com today and learn useful phrases like "Was ist los? ¿Qué pasa?" Instantly bond with your fellow man the world over.
Yo, telephone.
Hello?
Tava! Who's a boogie?
Konnichiwa!
Great coaches. Great players. Great finishes. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. No, Indiana State is the champion for the first time in 21 years.
94 years strong.
The Missouri Valley Conference.
The Missouri Valley Conference is extremely proud of our partnership with the Bob Costas Cancer Center at Cardinal Glennon Hospital in St. Louis. The Costas Center provides the children of Mid-America diagnosed with cancer and other blood disorders a combination of state-of-the-art technology, a child-friendly environment, and a compassionate, highly trained staff. The Bob Costas Cancer Center at Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital. For kids, for now,
forever.
If you buy one of those huge new SUVs, you might want to plan on a new garage, too. But with Dodge Durango's best-in-class available Magnum V8 power, plenty of room inside, and just right size outside, you don't have to rearrange your life just to fit an SUV into it. Durango. Different. And just right. Now get $1,000 cash allowance or 0.9 financing on Dodge Durango.
You've seen the highlights.
The cargo you transport every day is precious. Take care of your car and its cargo at Britain's Express Oil and Lube. From the moment you arrive at Britain's, you'll be greeted with an experienced, friendly staff. In just 10 minutes, you'll receive a complete oil change and our famous 18-point service check. They even vacuum your car's interior. Oil change, AC recharge, and a host of additional services are available at Elgin's most reliable car care center, Britain's Express Oil and Lube, located on Larkin Avenue just across from Larkin High School. Britain's Express Oil and Lube, for service you can trust.
If computers are frustrating you or someone you know, I urge you to get a pen and paper and write down this number. I'm about to tell you how you can get this computer learning CD free from Video Professor. Simply put the CD into the computer, the lesson starts playing. Follow along with a step-by-step instruction and you can't help but learn. And to prove it to you, Video Professor will send you any CD free. Call 1-800-810-0599.
The 1999-2000 season was a magical one for the Indiana State Sycamores. After being picked third in the Valley's preseason poll, the Sycamores started slowly with a 2-4 record. But things changed for Indiana State when the Sycamores won the Indiana Classic with a victory over Indiana at Assembly Hall in Bloomington. ISU then went on to post a pair of 6-game win streaks to gain control of the Missouri Valley Conference race. On February 28th, the Sycamores played host to Bradley in the league's regular season finale. And behind the efforts of Valley Player of the Year Nate Green, Indiana State won its first Valley regular season title since 1979 for today's AT&T Millennium Moment. Time with Indiana State leading at 31-26 over Bradley. Let's take a look at the Pepsi halftime stats, brought to you by Pepsi, the joy of cola. Pepsi, the choice of the Missouri Valley Conference.
Well, John, really what I see in this game is right here. We've got the 11 free throws to 4 for Indiana State's got the advantage on the free throw line. And, you know, Bradley's played not as well as they know they can play. They ought to feel pretty good about where they are in the game. They've just got to cut down on the turnovers, keep Indiana State off the free throw line. The other thing in this ball game, I told you about both coaches value the possession of the ball. There's only been one easy basket, and that was a transition basket by Gilbert off the steal. Other than that, you're going to earn your baskets. You're going to earn your field goals in this ball game. And so free throws and offensive rebounding is going to play a big key in this second half.
And we'll see what kind of adjustments both teams make. We're at the break with Indiana State leading it over Bradley, 31-26. Back with the second half right after these messages.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Introducing a shockingly refreshing new lemon lime. Sierra Mist.
You want to win $25,000? Skip the pin, sign, and win. What? Okay, here. Got one of these? A Commerce Bank Visa check card. Use this instead of cash, instead of a check. And if there's a keypad, don't enter your PIN number. Use it like a credit card. Sign the receipt. You could win $1,000 to be given away each day and a $25,000 grand prize. Open a checking account at Commerce today and get one. Skip the PIN, sign, and win.
There are things that make you feel alive. And then there are things that make you feel reborn. Explore St. Louis. There's more than meets the arch. Call 1-800-888-FUN1.
They say it's an extreme sport, but it only begins there. It's a sport that pushes performance to the limits and beyond. That's why, when conditions lean to the extreme, winners stay cool with Phillips 66 Injects 2-cycle motor oil. It gives you maximum performance on race day and every day. To let the good times roar, choose Phillips 66 Injects for your 2-cycle engine.
Proof again that Phillips 66 is the performance company.
The Missouri Valley Conference Game of the Week is brought to you by Budweiser, the beer with the crisp, clean, refreshing taste you'll find in no other beer. By John Q. Hammonds Hotels and Resorts, the leading independent owner and manager of upscale hotels and meeting facilities. And by Commerce Bank, all your banking needs from free checking to sophisticated financial products delivered with hometown service. Indiana State's lead is 5 at 31-26. And Bob, let's take a look at some of those first half highlights.
Well, if you want to see somebody that has fun playing basketball, just watch Matt Wren and what he gets into. First off, he's screening for people. He'll step back. He'll knock in a big three. They're going to move the ball over to him here. He knocks in a three. Next highlight, we're going to show you he's got a post feed available. He can throw it into the post for a big bucket by Conte. Now he's on the defensive end of the floor. Big steal. Finishes, gets fouled, and to the free throw line. So he has a lot of fun playing this game. Here's Bradley basketball. Penetrate, pitch it out, get a three-point shot. They've been led by Gilbert, Jerome Robinson. For them in the second half, they're going to have a few more of those threes knocked down.
Well, Jerome Robinson hit just the 1-3 in the first half, and for a guy that came in averaging close to 20 points a game, kind of a quiet first half for Jerome Robinson.
I'd say he was probably on the top of that scouting report.
Yeah, no question. And that's what happens when you get into conference play, isn't it, Coach? Everybody knows exactly what you can do.
Well, they had 10 films to watch, and I'm sure Jim Molinari and his staff sure know how to put it together.
Block knocks down the jump shot. Keelan Block now has 6 points, and Indiana State a 7-point lead. Robinson on a kick out to the other Robinson, Marcello. Now Gilbert fires from long range. Raby, another rebound, his 10th, and he'll go to the free throw line. Already into double figures on the boards, Jeffrey Raby, the senior.
Well, that was a big play. You have to get yourself established in the start of the second half. They got a quick shot on Gilbert, but Raby was there to get the offensive rebound, and now he's at the free throw line. I really think the first 5 minutes of this half, and I know it's a coaching cliche, but this 5 minutes of the second half is going to really be important for Bradley to try to establish something on offense.
Raby hits the free throw. He has 4 points and 10 rebounds. Wren got that foul, his first. Raby missed the second, the rebound to Block. Well, it's going to have to be down on this end of the floor, too, for Bradley. They're going to need some stops to be able to get back in it, too. Good help that time by Raby. Kick out, Wren open for the jump shot. Matt Wren hits again.
Again, Keelan Block with the drive, penetrate, pull the defense, and pitch it to Wren. He's open for the jumper.
Well, what's not to like about Matt Wren? Just a complete player. Conte gets the interception. Here comes Wren with it. Down to Conte. Quick turnaround. Rims in.
Well, it's what makes coaching fun, too. You have some players that have an understanding of how you want to play, and Royce Waltman certainly established that in his program. He's got these seniors cinched in. This freshman class he's got is good. They're all going to be able to establish it.
Robinson hits a tough shot in the lane. Jerome Robinson with just his second field goal, and the lead is 8. And right here on this end is where Jim Molinari wants to stop. This Bradley team always among the league leaders in the field goal percentage defense. They again lead the league in that category this year, despite giving up 107 points to USC in the season opener. Menser from way outside. Michael Menser hits a bomb. His first 3 of the game, but he's the leading three-point shooter in Indiana State history.
Well, he's outstanding, and that's really tough on the defense to do such a good job for 25, 30 seconds of that shot clock.
Gilbert was held by Block. Keelan Block with his second foul.
And then Menzer, they do a great job on defense. Indiana State finds the open man. Of course, Menzer, with the knowledge and understanding of what's left on the clock, knocks in an NBA three-pointer.
And that three-pointer was the 220th for Michael Menzer, and you can see that he's climbing the charts in the Missouri Valley Conference
You think he's got those threes that he made against Indiana on a VCR tape somewhere?
That's all you need is 10 seconds to have the highlight
of your life.
Yeah, exactly. 2 threes in an 8-second span, actually, to win that game for Indiana State. Good hustle by Bradley. This is Gilbert open for 3. Boy, I like him. Philip Gilbert with his 3rd three-pointer.
What a good job of getting your feet set and just having a great rhythm on that jump shot.
11 points for Gilbert. He's the leading scorer among newcomers in the Missouri Valley, averaging close to 14 points a game. Jump shot left side, and the rebound controlled by Gillingham, and here comes Bradley again. Robinson, jump shot on the way, Jerome Robinson. Loose ball, Gillingham. And now Cage gets an offensive rebound and scores.
Bradley's got a little life there. I mean, Cage has got to love that offensive rebound. He didn't have to leave his feet, but it was a great example of positioning yourself away from that jump shooter.
Cage got those 3 fouls early in the first half, played just 9 minutes in the first half. He's an important cog for Bradley. Menser again.
You know, when a guy makes another one on you and he's a stride and a half off the 3 line, you might have to move your D out. And Mr. Gilbert's going to learn that. He's going to figure that out. He might have to get out a little further on Menzer.
Robinson has the answer.
John, we're heating it up a little bit.
A little bit. I'd say so. And timeout called by Royce Waltman.
I would bet both coaches are in that huddle in the timeout talking about what are we going to do with our defense, and we better establish our perimeter defense, another stride out on that line.
Well, the man standing right next to Royce Waltman, Michael Menser, is such a key for this Indiana State team. We talked about it at the beginning of the game, but Coach, not only a good 3-point shooter, but also great with the assist-to-turnover ratio.
Well, he's over 4 assists to 1 turnover a game, which is an outstanding ratio. It's something that a coach dreams about when he selects a point guard. But not only does he move and run your ball club, but he can knock in threes from deep. Look where he is. He's a stride and a half, 2 strides off the line. That's an NBA-style 3.
So Michael Menser, an important part of this Indiana State attack. And the Sycamores lead by 6.
Student. How much fun's he having?
That's a pretty fun guy to coach, I'd say. The lead is 6. Bradley just won't go away. Conte down low to Wren. Conte gets it back, shoots it over Raby and misses. And Raby another rebound, his 11th. Bradley on the run. Now the Braves are within 6 and have the ball here. Gillingham having troubles, gets rid of it. Cage, hands off on the come around. Now Gilbert almost threw it away. Indiana State's really picked it up defensively. Raby a turnaround. Wren the rebound. Now Wren looks things over. Gets it back on the wing. Keelan Block goes to work. Menser on another bomb. And Cage the rebound.
Great job of defense by Bradley. They all block out, all good position. Cage gets the defensive board.
So Bradley maybe dodges a bullet on one end, and now they've got another chance to chip into this lead. Gillingham forced into some duty at the point guard position. Raby off a good pass down low, had it knocked away. Here comes Menser. Cross court and open is Keelan Block. Raby another rebound. All over the defensive boards. Lob pass, Cage had it knocked away. It'll belong. No, it'll be a foul call. I thought they should have called it to begin with. I thought they were just going to call it out of bounds, but it was a foul.
Yeah, that was a good call.
Yes.
Good call. You know, for this to happen, John, you got a little bit of a mismatch, or we're not running back on defense with Conte. They're a little late in getting back, and they're going to give him 2 free throws.
So Cage goes to the line. Conte gets his 3rd personal foul. And Cage hits. And now Conte will come out, and Avery's back in there. Also checking in for Indiana State for the first time, Matt Browerman. Interesting player, likes to stand out behind the 3-point line and shoot it.
Well, he'll add to the three-point totals, won't he?
He's only taken one 2-point shot attempt all season. Cage couldn't get the roll, and the rebound to Avery. But the lead is just 5. So Indiana State showed signs of pulling away again. Bradley has answered the bell. Here's Avery down low.
Great entry pass by Menzer.
Lead to 7. Gilbert drives in, drew the contact. Philip Gilbert creating something there on the offensive end. Timeout on the floor. Indiana State led it by 5 at the break, and right now it's the Sycamores by 7 with 14:12 to go.
The family has always put in the forefront to protect the quality and the standards set by Adolphus Busch.
The deep sense of pride that my grandfather taught me, that my father continues to teach me.
I think he would be very happy that the generations of his family have practiced what he taught us.
People fascinate me, always have. Behind every big name, I wonder, what makes them tick? I want some amazing fact, childhood memory, hope, or dream. Biography gives me all that.
Harry Smith joins Biography. Weeknights on A&E. He's got the right biography to host Biography.
Brought to you locally by your Ford store. See your Chicagoland Ford store today, where you'll find quality people with quality products.
Our score here, Indiana State leading it over Bradley, 45-38 with 14:12 to go in the game. Here's a look at the National Car Rental scores and schedules from around the Missouri Valley Conference. We mentioned earlier that St. Louis University knocks off Southwest Missouri State 80-70, and Creighton keeps on winning 89-82 the final over Mississippi Valley State. Other games coming up later on today. Raby down low, kick out. And Cage traveled with it, but Coach, that's just what we were talking about in the break. You want to see Raby catch it, maybe kick it back out.
Yeah, I think that Bradley, if they'll use their center a little bit more, they're going to get Indiana State to collapse. And then if Raby can move the ball for them, they're going to get those wide open looks on the perimeter. Cage just went a little too fast this last possession.
Certainly getting the ball to the post can create a lot of different opportunities for an offense. Here's Wren on a drive, tough shot, Cage the rebound. Good defensive work by Bradley.
Well, both teams are real sound, and you're not going to get a lot of mistakes. You got to earn your baskets, and well, we're going to look at some offense now in the second half. Both teams are going to have to execute.
Robinson on a kick out. Cage swings it over to Gillingham. His jumper from the baseline is good. Tough shot by the freshman, James Gillingham, his first basket.
You know, for the basketball fan you're watching, you're seeing some good coaching. All the guys are catching the ball. They're balanced. They're using a ball fake, keeping their knees bent so that they can explode on that dribble move.
You know, Bradley is hanging right in there. It's a 5-point game. Rowerman swings it around to Wren. And over to try to draw the charge was Gillingham, but he'll be called for the block instead. Well, fouls were a real problem for Bradley in the first half. They committed 14 first half fouls. Done a little bit of better job here and trying again here, Bob, to play defense with their feet.
Well, you've got to move your feet. I think it was a good play by Gillingham. That's a good attempt at trying to draw the charge.
Absolutely. That's the kind of foul you don't mind. Team fouls this half. Indiana State with 4, and Bradley just 1. There's 2 now. Another foul underneath, and if that's Cage, it's his 4th.
Well, the thing that's happened to Indiana State's offense, they've done a better job of screening and cutting. They're not driving the ball as much as they did in the first half, and so they're not forcing Bradley to foul him like they did in the first half.
That foul was on Raby, his 3rd, so Raby with 3. Cage with 3, Corbett with 3. Keelan Block hits the free throw for Indiana State. The Sycamores went on that 18-2 run in the first half after Bradley had led it 10-4 in the early going. Ever since, it's been Indiana State leading it. We're under 13 minutes to play, and the lead right now is 7. Almost thrown away, but Jerome Robinson back to get it. Robinson on a kick out. Gilbert, tough drive. Raby over the back to get that rebound, and he laid it in. His 13th rebound of the game.
Well, Jeffrey Raby is having a great rebounding game and just doing the things that he needs to do for this ball club.
And the lead is 5 again. Wren. This is Block on a drive. Raby blocked the shot.
What's that saying? You can't teach size?
Old coaching adage, is it? This is Robinson. Bradley with another opportunity here to really chip away at that lead. Keelan Block's done a nice job on Jerome Robinson. This is Cage on a drive, and he banked it in. And it's a three-point game. Well, I'm impressed with the guts of this Bradley team, Coach. They've really hung in there and played hard.
Well, they're having a great second half, and they're doing the things I'm sure Coach Molinari talked to at halftime about. And the big thing is they are doing a great job on this end where they're giving one shot and one shot only.
Again, Raby tracking down the loose ball after getting the defensive rebound, and he's done a great job on the boards. Jumper, Gillingham. Won't fall. And a good block out that time by Avery. Here comes Indiana State. Michael Menzer on a drive past Gillingham. The foul called on Gillingham. A little too aggressive, maybe. Timeout on the floor. 11:04 to go in the ball game. Don't go anywhere. We got a good one. It's Indiana State leading it by 3.
You know, we could have spent an absolute fortune to get a big-name celebrity in our Prairie Farms ice cream commercials. But instead, we decided to put our money where your mouth is. Quality you can taste from Prairie Farms.
It's not just about making plans. It's about making a difference. It's about neighbors and taking an interest rather than merely earning it. At Edward Jones, it's never just about investing. It's about knowing you and your dreams.
My every hope, my life, my world, it all begins with a dream.
Edward Jones, investing in you and your dreams.
Seattle is surrounded by water, and then it rains. And that means car accidents. When that happens, are you going to have a State Farm agent who knows you personally, or are you going to have no agent and hope for the best?
Over 16,000 State Farm agents.
Our rates are very competitive.
It's no accident. They insure more cars than anyone else.
I'm going to be getting some calls today.
You know, we could have blown an enormous budget building big, elaborate sets for our Prairie Farms ice cream commercials. But instead, we decided to put our money where your mouth is. Taste the homemade goodness of Prairie Farms.
Indiana State is led by as many as 11, but now the lead is down to 3. Well, be sure to join us for the 2001 State Farm Missouri Valley Women's Basketball Tournament, March 8th through 10th in Springfield, Missouri. Hoops in the Heartland from the Hammond Student Center, the 2001 State Farm Missouri Valley Women's Basketball Tournament. Don't miss a minute. Let's take a look at what Raby's done for Bradley, Coach.
Well, John, this is why tall guys are at the top of a list on a recruiting list. Here's Jeffrey Raby. He's going to play off of a dribble drive. He's going to get the weak side rebound. Because of his size, he's in good position. He finishes it. Then on the other end, he comes back on defense. And look what his size does to Keelan Block. Big player, keeps his hands up, no foul, and he really has an impact on the game.
15 rebounds, a career high for Raby, and it ties the conference high set by Charles Gaines of Southwest Missouri State earlier this year.
And he's getting a rest right now.
And we still have 11 minutes to go, so he's going to get a couple more boards, I would think. This is Menser off a screen, firing the 3 and burying it. Nice set play out of
That was a great set play, and Menzer got his feet set, came off the screen, and did what he's expected to do, and that's knocking a big shot.
Michael Menzer with 12 points. He's hit 3 threes here in the second half. Cage tries to answer. And does. Got the friendly bounce.
Well, now we're noticing with Eddie Cage on the bench in the first half, that had a big impact on Bradley's offense and defense.
He's been able to stay out there with those 3 fouls here in the second half. Hasn't picked up his 4th yet. You see the patience from this Indiana State team. This is a veteran team. They understand their offense. Wren on a kick out. Shot clock at 10. Conte fouled by Faulkner. He kind of shoved him with the underbody. And Faulkner gets his 3rd foul.
Well, great ball movement by Indiana State.
Take a look at this again.
Well, you watch Conte, he'll work at getting position. He's got him inside the paint right here. Where Faulkner makes the foul is he's too close. Conte's got his back to the basket and needs to step away a little bit.
And while we were away on that replay, Matt Wren got a layup. And the lead up to 6 for Indiana State. Wren now with 15 points. Jumper on the way by Jerome Robinson. Block, another rebound for Indiana State. Keelan Block with his 6th board. Here comes Howard. Out of control, offensive foul.
What a great job by Bradley at closing the gate on defense.
Faulkner stood in there and took the charge.
Great help side defense. When you play Bradley, you better look and have your head and eyes up, because if you get around your man, there's going to be a red jersey in front of you, and you better have balance and control.
Raby returns for Bradley. Also checking back in, the terrific freshman, Philip Gilbert. But we talked about at the top of the show, Bob, the 2 seniors, the veterans for this Indiana State team being so important, Wren and Menzer. Wren has 15 points, Menzer has 12. They both come up there. Foul on Keelan Block out high.
Well, and you know, it's always more than that too with those 2 guys. They show up in more than just stats. The way they play, the way they work, the way they practice, it really establishes a program.
And yet Bradley hanging around. It's a 6-point game and the Braves have the ball. This is Gilbert working against Menzer and having problems, and it's a 5-second call. And there's exactly what you were talking about, the little things they do besides scoring points. Michael Menzer forces the turnover.
Well, it's a good play, and you know, Philip Gilbert, a freshman, he's going to recognize that counts on him as soon as Michael Menzer's within 6 feet. He's got an active dribble. Now, Gilbert could pick the ball up and hold it an additional 4 seconds, and he would have been out of trouble. But by keeping his dribble going, that 5 count, he never was able to escape the 5 count.
This is Menzer on a kick out. Wren, now he's bounce pass. Conte drew the foul on Raby. And again, Matt Wren with a good entry pass.
Great entry pass, and you know, you always wonder, how's a big guy like Raby get that foul? That foul occurred as Conte was setting himself up in the paint. It wasn't at the end. Watch, Conte will step in the paint, get the steal, and now he's in trouble. I think Raby did a great job of verticality, of holding his hands up, not really leaning in, but really Conte made that play by establishing his post position.
That foul was Raby's 4th. Conte missed the free throw. So Indiana State is yet to deliver the knockout punch.
Well, and you know this about an experienced team like Indiana State. They know Cage has 3 fouls. They know Raby has 4 fouls. I can bet you can watch even in their timeouts or when they run their offense, they're going to try to establish something with those 2 on defense.
Robinson fires a jump shot. He struggled from the outside, but Raby continues to get it done on the boards. He's been relentless, 16 rebounds. A new career high for Jeffrey Raby.
What an outstanding offensive rebounding performance. You're going to see Raby find himself on the weak side of this shot, get position, and he's going after it with 2 hands. If a big guy goes up and gets it with 2 hands and his head's under the ball, he's going to be in great position strength-wise, and he'll be able to take those rebounds off the rim.
Raby missed the first free throw, though. Avery returns. Conte with 4 fouls. He'll take a rest. So both post players that started this one, Raby and Conte, each with 4 personal fouls. Jeffrey Raby hit 1 of 2 from the free throw line. And the lead is 6.
Bradley's moving their defense up the floor. Maybe you're going to try to shake a little bit, get Indiana State out of a rhythm.
Wren on a drive, left hand, got it. Nice play by Matt Wren. He has 17.
Again, he's got Eddie Cage guarding him, 3 fouls. He knows he's got an advantage if he stays aggressive.
Gilbert. Crowd behind the wall. Jerome Robinson. They've really kept him quiet, and Block has done a great job defensively. That time was knocked loose by Barry. Menser. Kick out to Wren. Tough shot, blocked by Raby. Block got it back, scored and draw the foul. Raby got the initial block, but Block was alert after the block.
You know, Keelan Block gives this team an explosiveness and maybe a creative element on their offense. Here he is taking it to the hole. Raby with great defensive position, but Keelan is such a good athlete. He can get that ball off the floor and then finish. That's a tough play because you've got to find the ball on the floor and then pick the spot up on the board to knock the ball off.
4 fouls for Andre Corbett. He'll come over and get a rest. So will Raby. So the 2 players with 4 fouls for Bradley each go to the bench. Block knocks down the free throw. Keelan Block into double figures now with 11. 10-point game for Indiana State. They've made a nice run here. Bradley will try to answer. Right now there are 3 freshmen on the floor for Bradley. This is one of them, Philip Gilbert. Robinson, the senior, kicks it back to Gilbert. 3-pointer on the way. Long rebound, Matt Wren able to knock it over to Mensa.
You just saw a great defensive possession by Indiana State.
Mensa on a drive. Good defensive work. They cut him off. Now Wren with a baseline jumper. He's taking things over here, Bob.
Well, we've seen that all night, and we're going to see it all year. It's fun to watch. Such fundamentals and such soundness by a basketball player.
Indiana State has opened up its biggest lead of the afternoon. A 13-point advantage for the Sycamores.
You know, John, I think there's going to have to be a little sense of urgency here for Bradley, or they're going to lose it right now, because Indiana State's got an idea what they need to do on offense. They need to attack the inside. They need to attack Raby. They need to attack Cage. Corbett's got 4 fouls. On the other hand, Bradley's got to do a good job offensively. They got to get something going to kind of stem the tide and just hang around and see if they can be in it in the last couple minutes, and then maybe that 3-point shot will come into play for them.
Wren now just needs 8 points to get to the 1,000-point mark for his career.
Well, here you're going to see fundamental basketball. You catch a ball, your feet are set, ball fake. We couldn't teach that any better in summer camp.
Well, you expect the seniors to step up, especially in a conference opener. Matt Wren has done that, so has Michael Menser. So the lead now is 13, and Bradley needs a hoop in the worst way. Menser on Robinson out there. They try to post Robinson against Menser. They do. He's double teamed. Kick out to Raby. Right back into Robinson. Spins on Menser with a tough jumper, and he hit it.
What a possession. Hey, Bradley came out of a timeout. They knew who was going to get that shot, and they did some great things to execute.
Robinson into double figures with 10. That was a big hoop to kind of stop the bleeding here for Bradley. Now they need a stop. Wren has other ideas. Matt Wren with the left hand again. 21 for Wren. Every time Indiana State's needed a big basket, Wren has gotten it. Robinson for 3. And the senior for Bradley says,
and he's answered.
Not so fast. Well, Robinson now with 13. He's got 10 of them here in the second half. Under 6 minutes to play, and the Indiana State lead is 10. They've led almost the whole way. Bradley led 10-4 early. Long jump shot. Wouldn't fall for Barry. Mentzer able to save, though. Now Wren shoots a 3. Good block out by Gillingham. This is Ed Cage with it on the right wing. Down low, Robinson.
Well, Robinson's got 3 baskets in a row for him now, so Jim Molinari's timeout, I think, got his point across. He knows who they want to give a shot to every time they get it.
Well, they had block on Robinson earlier, and it seems like he's had Mentzer matched up with him, and that might be a mismatch.
Well, they're running him right to the post, or they're back cutting him to the basket area, and so we'll see if Indiana State makes a change.
Blocks jumper from the baseline, in and out, rebound Raving. 17th, a conference high for the season. And a good aggressive move by Gilbert. He drew a foul. Philip Gilbert, the freshman.
Well, it's an unusual basket in that Indiana State isn't back on defense, and you're not going to find that happen very often. What have we counted? 2 easy baskets in this game, and now Gilbert almost gets another one, but he does get the foul.
And Barry and Avery will come out for Indiana State. Conte with those 4 fouls has to come back in. Gilbert to the free throw line. Here's a guy that burst onto the college basketball scene. How'd you like to score 22 against USC in your first Division I game?
Well, you know, he's a freshman, but he's had a great experience in basketball. First off, a teammate of his, Darius Miles, went right from East St. Louis High School to the LA Clippers. And they had a great run last year while he was in high school, plus outstanding AAU program, the Metro East All-Stars. And so Philip Gilbert's a little more than a freshman because of some of those basketball experiences.
Well, Gilbert now with 13, and Bradley on a 7-0 run to climb within 6.
If you enjoy Branson's world-class entertainment, then you'll love Branson's world-class resort, Chateau on the Lake. On a majestic mountaintop overlooking Table Rock Lake, you'll find a grand hotel in the European tradition. The service is impeccable. The surroundings elegant. It's pure luxury all the way. It's what you deserve. Come experience Chateau on the Lake, Branson's only world-class resort. Call 1-888-333-LAKE for reservations.
Highland Park Chrysler. The best deals no matter where you might go. Highland Park Chrysler. Superior service is all that we know.
This week at Highland Park Chrysler, get superior savings on a brand new 2001 Chrysler Town & Country minivan. Lease one for just $369 a month for 36 months.
Highland Park Chrysler.
Highland Park Chrysler, 250 Skokie Valley Road.
Sunday night fights on Fox Sports Net. Witness boxing fury from a ringside seat. Sunday night fights on Fox Sports Net.
There is no quit in Jim Molinari's team. They're within 6 with 4:47 to go. When you have a choice of hotels, choose Drury Inn, the official hotel of the Missouri Valley Conference. With a free quick start breakfast and many other complimentary services, Drury Inn is a good choice. Experience the Drury difference. Call 1-800-DRURY-INN and request the Missouri Valley Conference special rate. Let's look at foul trouble here, Coach, and we're getting to the point now where you got to have those guys out there anyway.
Well, you're going to play them now regardless, but the big thing for Bradley is their inside guys, Raby, Corbett, and Cage, are caught in there at 4, 4, and 3, and so they've got to really be cautious. And I know Matt Wren, and I'm sure it's talked about in that timeout in that huddle.
This is Wren with it. They cleared the side out for him. Wren backs up and shoots the jumper and hits again. He has 23.
See, Matt Wren knows he's got a guy with 3 fouls. Cage has to stay in the game, so he's backed off of him. And Wren is a hard player to guard.
Gilbert. The lead back up to 8. This is Robinson for 3. Knocked to the floor. Count the hoop. He'll go for a 4-point play. Jerome Robinson has come to life here in the second half.
Well, that's 4 straight possessions that he has scored, and they did make a change. Indiana State put Keelan Block back on him. But Keelan stumbles through, or the momentum takes him into the shooter, but a great play by Robinson.
There's another look, and Robinson now with 18 points, 15 of them here in the second half. And make it 19 for Robinson.
Coach Mo's trying to make sure the score is right.
Yeah, well, it was an 8-point game, and then they got a 4-point play, so it should be 60, and they got it corrected now. 64 to 60, he's right. And when it comes to stuff like that, you don't want to mess with Jim Molinari. He is a lawyer, after all. Passed the bar exam. Keep track of his score.
So what is he doing coaching?
That's a good question.
He's having fun. That's what he's doing.
Maybe figure there's enough lawyers in the world that we could use as another basketball coach. I bet there aren't too many Division I coaches, though, with the law degrees to pass the bar exam. Wren, again, this time he misses. Gillingham the rebound, and Bradley, trailing by just 4 with under 4 minutes to play. They just simply refuse to quit here this afternoon. They've really played a gutsy effort here.
Well, this is going to be a great ball game down the stretch.
Raby has had the big game on the board, 17 rebounds. Now he gets the basket inside.
Well, Conte with 4 fouls, he's limited in what he can do. So both teams are doing a great job of finding that mismatch or finding that advantage and opportunity on offense.
It's a 2-point game. This is as close as Bradley has been in a long time. Off a screen, the freshman Howard leaves it for Conte. And he got the basket. He'll go for a 3-point play. Good strength by Conte to get that ball up there.
It was a great finish. And I think it was a foul on Cage, who just happened to be out of position and reaching over the back.
Another look at it. Pretty good pass by Howard, too.
Great play, but, you know, that's one of those fouls Cage isn't even going to remember when he gets back to his dorm room tonight. You know, those are the unfortunate fouls you get.
Conte completes an important 3-point play for Indiana State. And the lead is up to 5 at 67-62.
New TV? Yeah. Watch this.
RCA's experts understand you want the sharpest picture possible. So we developed the RCA digital monitor and receiver. The best picture today and unsurpassed high-definition quality for tomorrow. RCA, changing entertainment again.
Some memories last. Like when you said for better or for worse, you probably didn't expect the for worse part so soon. At empty times like these, there's nothing better than seeing Phillips 66. It's a welcome sign that says we have high-quality, super clean gasoline. And every tank full helps you get the most from your car. So while life may not always perform the way you want, Phillips 66 gasolines do.
Proof again that Phillips 66 is the performance company.
It's the best high school hockey in the state. Come out and support Blackhawk Charities and the Amateur Hockey Association of Illinois, December 27th through the 30th at the Holiday Hockey Classic, presented by Robert Morris College. Join members of the Chicago Blackhawks and Blackhawk alumni for 4 action-packed days of local hockey. Tickets are available at the door or call 312-455-7055. The Chicago Blackhawk Charities Holiday Hockey Classic at the Edge Ice Arena in Bensonville. Brought to you by Robert Morris College, WSCR The Score, and Fox Sports Net.
Gamescape, your one-stop source for the video game industry.
The sky is the limit.
Get reviews, previews, tips, tactics. Find out what's happening behind the scenes and who's calling the shots.
It is me, but it's not me.
Get the inside track on what the pros think.
That is sweet!
Gamers, there's only one place to be. Gamescape on Fox Sports Net.
It's in the game, baby.
Not time to rest yet if you're Indiana State. The lead is just 5 with 3:18 to go. Let's take a look at the game reset for you. This Bradley team was just chipped away. Each team with a full timeout end of 30. Indiana State has committed more fouls, so Bradley will shoot 2 free throws on all fouls the rest of the way.
Bradley has a chance now every possession. If they can keep being aggressive, take it to the hole, they can get Indiana State in a little bit of a foul predicament, but those 2 free throws every time you're down here, that could help you.
Okay, Gillingham behind the back on the dribble. This is an important possession for Bradley. They trail by 5. Cage out to bail out Gillingham.
Got the freshman Howard guarding Jerome Robinson.
Robinson on a drive, bounced it to Raby, trouble collecting the pass, missed the shot, and the rebound to Rand. You'd almost rather see Robinson just shoot it himself in that situation. especially as hot as he's been.
It was a great unselfish play.
Wren on a drive. Count the basket again for Matt Wren. He'll go for a three-point play, and he's within 2 points of the 1,000-point mark for his career.
Well, it's the predicament of everybody that's going to guard Wren all year. Is do you want to give up the perimeter shot and try to sag off and take away this dribble drive? But he is so dangerous when he takes it to the hole. And there he gets Cage to step in and commit his 5th foul.
So Cage is gone, but what a finisher Matt Wren is.
Oh, he's having a great afternoon.
Wren now with 25 points. Cage fouls out with 11 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists. He had a pretty good afternoon.
You know, really to talk some strategy here, if you're Bradley and you've got to make a matchup with him, how would you do it? Do you want Wren to shoot the standing 3 and you've got to back off? Or do you pressure him knowing that he is going to drive it every time? Your weak side help and your people have to be ready to rotate. And he certainly makes it tough on your defense.
The lead up to 7 with under 3 minutes to play. That was a big hoop. And Wren missed the free throw, though. Bradley still has life, but Corbett just turned it over in the backcourt. Yeah, that's a backbreaker for Jim Molinari's team. Unforced turnover.
Well, we've still got that three-point shot that's in play for Bradley, and so this game is by far not over. They've just got to get a good stop and then come down on the offensive end.
Gillingham is chasing Menser all over the floor, and the official, Jerry Pollard, just standing over there holding the ball. Those guys were getting a workout. There's the turnover story, and we talked about it. Bradley's done a much better job, though, in the second half, not turning the ball over. Had a bunch in the first half. Menser trying to create some space, lost control momentarily. Now Wren for 3, and that'll put him over the 1,000-point mark.
Well, so much for backing off Matt Wren and giving him that standing shot.
Jim Molinari calls the 32nd timeout, but Matt Wren has got it stuck on automatic. 28 for Wren, 17 in the second half, and as you can see, he's over the 1,000-point mark for his career.
Well, just an outstanding game, and it's fun as a basketball fan, and if there's a young man out there wanting to learn how to be a player, watch Matt Wren.
Let's take a look at our Rawlings play of the game. Matt Wren spotting up from three-point range. And that'll make it a 10-point lead for Indiana State. Matt Wren gets our Rawlings play of the game.
Well, I'm sure Bradley has used this timeout where Coach Mo is going to talk to his team about getting the guy the shot, and it's got to be Jerome Robinson either inside or out. They're going to give him a look. Maybe Gilbert on a dribble drive or off the standing 3. But they've got to get something here on this possession and then get a couple stops.
Gillingham gets it into the front court. Menser really doing a nice job defensively out on the perimeter. They want to get the ball in Robinson's hands if they can. Corbett fires a long 3 and misses. And the rebound saved by Keelan Block. Under 2 minutes to play. And a foul out on the perimeter. Robinson had to foul Block. So Block will go to the line and shoot a 1-and-1. Keelan Block, 78% on the season from the free throw line. You can see we've corrected our score now. It's 71-62 in favor of Indiana State. We must have called that a 2-pointer for Matt Wren a while back.
Substitution for Brandon. That's you right there.
You know, with both teams being such good free throw shooting, you know, for Bradley, they've got to try to find somebody that they can foul, that can be an advantage. And right now on the floor, there isn't a lot of people that you can set them.
I mentioned it earlier, both these teams are excellent free throw shooting teams. And I think they're trying to get this score corrected. I don't think there's any question Wren was behind the three-point line. And it should be a 10-point game at 72-62. Take a look at this again. And There's no question that it's a three-point shot. I think they just gave Wren a 2, but it should have been a 3. Royce Waltman wants an explanation. Pretty tough when you're at home and you don't get that.
No, you know, we've got a great officiating crew here, and you got Ron Burkholz, who he isn't going to make all the right calls, but he does such a good job of selling them that you don't argue with him.
That's right.
And if you know, for officials, that's half the battle. Just sell your call and move on.
Block at both free throws. So we'll call it an 11-point lead right now for Indiana State. And time is running out for Bradley. This is Gilbert. Robinson's going to have to put it on the floor, try to create. Tough shot. Rebound, Faulkner. Faulkner back in. Missed it, and the rebound to Wren. Well, Matt Wren has done everything this afternoon. He's been the best basketball player on the floor. Gillingham commits the foul. Menser will go to the line. And that's 10 team fouls. Now it's 2 free throws the rest of the way for Indiana State.
Well, it's just a tough play for Faulkner. He had a layup, got banged a little bit. It was a no call. And that's how it works. You know, you got it working against you. And now you got Indiana State, and all the good little shooters are going to go to the line and make it tough for you.
Well, you know, Menser is a pretty good bet to knock down free throws. He's hit 4 of 4 in this game, has 13 points. To go with those 4 rebounds. Missed the second, however, and Raby gets another rebound. Jeffrey Raby continues to head to that rebound total. His 18th of the game.
Indiana State's doing a very good job of moving their defense out.
And Gilbert knocks down a 3. Philip Gilbert hits his 4th three-pointer of the game. The freshman now with 16 points.
You know, I talked to Coach Molinari this morning, and one of the things he talked about, he says, we really like our young class. And you can see some of the things come out here. Gilbert, Robinson, Faulkner, Gillingham, these are freshmen, and they're getting their feet wet. Probably shouldn't be, but doing a great job. And if they can learn from some of these experiences in December, they'll point to some good things in February and March.
Let's take a look at our players of the game. For Bradley, Jeffrey Raby with 9 points and a career-high 18 rebounds. Best rebounding effort in the Valley so far this year. High honorable mention, though, to Jerome Robinson, who played well.
Well, you know what? We had Jerome Robinson scoring 4 straight possessions. Indiana State took a timeout. We came back out. He had a chance to score on the 5th straight possession and dished it off to Raby. Bradley didn't get the score, and that's too bad. But Jerome Robinson's had an outstanding second half.
Well, and for Indiana State, you know, Royce Waltman, we talked about it at the top of the show. He's going to look to his seniors. Menser and Wren have both just come up very big this afternoon.
Oh, they're fun to watch. Matt Wren has just had an outstanding game, goes over the 1,000-point total today, but he has scored every way possible. Standing threes, dribble drives, getting to the free throw line, offensive rebounds, and then he's doing it on the defensive end as well. And I know, talking to Coach Waltman, knowing how Menser and Wren come to practice every day, their influence is all over this ball club and this program.
Wren with game-high 27 points. His career high was 28 against Butler, so he's approaching that. Block fouled in the backcourt. And he will go to the free throw line.
Well, as a coach now, you look at the scoreboard, you're counting possessions. I mean, before these free throws, it's still a 3-possession game, which you can certainly get in 50 seconds. But for Bradley, they've got to have some misses. They've got to have some, get the rebound off the missed free throws and then come down, and they've got to make quick buckets.
Keelan Block has not missed a free throw this afternoon, 5 of 5. And he hits here. 14 points for Block. Indiana State trying to pick up where they left off a season ago. Look at the numbers on Block, also doing a good job on the board.
He's had a great second half, and he's one of those integral parts of this team.
Need the quick 3 if you're Bradley. Gillingham to Robinson.
And Indiana State's guarding that 3 line. They'll give up a layup, and they'll probably come out and...
Gillingham hits the 3. And a quick foul by Gillingham, and I think he's just fouled out of the game. He has. That's his 5th. No quit this Bradley team, though, Bob.
No, they've done a great job. You know, they're young, and here's Gillingham coming off the screen and knocking in a big 3. You know, I think Coach Molinari's got to see some things taking place and look ahead and say, hey, we can gain from this ball game.
Gillingham leads with 5 points, 4 rebounds. Menzer to the free throw line for Indiana State. The lead back down to 8 after that 3 by Gillingham. This Bradley team just keeps battling. Menzer misses a free throw.
All right, gentlemen, one more now. One more. One more.
He hit 1 of 2. 14 now for Michael Menzer.
Well, it's a 3-possession game for Bradley. They're going to have to get a 3 and then try to either get a quick foul.
Steal by Keelan Block. He's on a run out.
Well, they're liking that back in Kansas City. They're watching on Metro Sports, and they're going to be able to see Keelan Block, a hometown guy, do good.
Marcello Robinson went to the floor hard, drew the foul. He'll go for a 3-point play. Let's go back to the dunk a moment ago.
Well, Keelan Block gets in the passing lane, gets through there, makes a great steal, and then finishes with a little flair. I wonder if Randy Springs at Sumner Academy in Kansas City taught that.
I'm sure they worked on that every day. 16 seconds to go. The lead is 9 in Indiana State. Getting it done both ends of the floor here. They have 48 points here in the second half. And that is not something you'll see often against a Bradley team.
No, I don't think that is something that Coach Molinari is going to enjoy. But, hey, Bradley got beat by a very good ball club at Indiana State. Bradley's very young. They're going to pick some things up from this game. It'll be fun to see them through the Valley season.
Well, Bradley led it 10-4 early, but Indiana State took control and then hung on for a 79-70 win over Bradley. Next week, it'll be Evansville and Creighton from Omaha. And we hope you can join us Saturday at 2 o'clock Central Time as those two teams 1-0 in conference play battle it out at the Civic Auditorium. Our final today, Indiana State knocking off Bradley. 79-70 the final. Sycamores go to 8-3 overall, 1-0 in the league. For Bob Sunvold, this is John Walters. Thanks for joining us and have a very Merry Christmas.
Holiday greetings from Budweiser.